Over the past couple years, and I feel that it's been driven by 2020 and beyond and what's sort of happening sociopolitically right now and what's going on in the world, is there's a lot of people talking about prepping and survival, and you see people that are really concerned about getting their guns ready and getting their bug out bag ready, and there's so much fear-mongering out there, and as much as I agree with that to a certain extent, that the world is crap, the price of groceries is insane, capitalism is killing us, and we may be on the brink of World War III, there are some things that you can do and you should be doing if you just want to be a human and exist in the 21st century now. And this does not apply to everybody. This does not mean you, necessarily, if you enjoy this for pleasure, whatever, but I think there's people that just want to survive, that want to raise their families away from all the garbage and just hide in the woods. And that's kind of a hippy-dippy concept. It's something that we tend to talk about, and we're like, oh, we'll just build a community in the woods and just have all of our friends and family live on this compound. And it starts to sound really culty and creepy, and I think that is probably how a lot of cults get started.
A cult. A cult. Our family joined a cult.
But the reality is, when actually prepping and when trying to get ready for whatever comes next. I've seen a lot of fear-mongering lately about, like, nuclear war could be coming.
Yes, nuclear. They're weapons too. And make sure you mention we're talking about tactical nuclear weapons here.
There could be civil war. There could be a world war that's going to happen with tensions with Russia and the United States and Canada. And frankly, can I be honest? Frankly, I don't care. I don't care about any of that. I don't want to think about it. The only thing that bothers me is the price of everything. The price of food, the price of groceries, the price of stuff. But, to be fair, we've been too much of a capitalistic society over the last 20, 30 years.
All I want's some money.
Society is no longer in it for each other. It used to be that if you come up with a cool piece of software or a cool thing, you want to share that with everybody. Look at insulin. Insulin, the owner of the copyright or the patent on insulin, gave it away for free.
The medical researchers who patented their invention in 1923 wanted insulin to be affordable for even the poorest sufferers from diabetes.
Yet, diabetics are still paying an arm and a leg to get their insulin. And so, today we've got the exact opposite, where capitalism has taken over. Capitalism is everything. You've got SaaS, software as a service, everything you have to pay for. Everything is nickel and dime. You've got coaching services that somebody like myself could stand in front of a camera and just talk and charge you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars just to make you feel good and try to convince you that I'm going to make you money somehow. Meanwhile, I'm only rich because of people paying on the screen.
How is this not a pyramid scheme?
So, what happens, I find, with regards to survivalists and preppers, and that's a fun thing, to get your EDC, your everyday carry, to get your knives, to get your guns, to get whatever, to get ready, to get your MREs. You could do that. There's nothing wrong with doing that. But then there are sustainable practices, especially where we live. We've got winter for a long time. And I don't know about you, but I'm not bugging out in the winter to live in the woods and to survive off of, like, snowshoe hair that I might be able to snare. I want a sustainable property. I want somewhere where I can live and produce, and if not our property, because our property is definitely not big enough, and people have called me out on that before, but at least I can learn these principles. I can learn how to raise birds for meat. I can learn how to keep bees, or how to screw it up sometimes. And if I'm learning all those processes years down the road, if society collapses, if we do end up in a survivalist, prepper, bug out situation, it's gonna be easier to deal with when I already know these things.
Set adrift with fed away like bows, unaware of where my heart would flow. I was waiting in the undertow.
So, I mean, here, I'm prepping. This is a old barn. It was a shed for ages, and it's just kind of gone defunct. It's falling apart, but I'm building, actually you can see the paint on the walls. I used it for a music video a few years ago. And now I'm building it out to be a little goat paddock. Because the thing that we've noticed, something that we've noticed that we spend a lot of money on, we've got our groceries, we've got our garden that'll grow most of our food, but we still have things that we tend to buy that are expensive from the store. So meat was the biggest thing to get off of. We haven't bought meat from the store. We buy it from a butcher, or we raise our own chickens, and I'm hunting now, so we're trying to get into more and more of that. Look at that, you can see both holes. Look. You can see the bullet holes, one there, and then through the other side. Perfect shot. But dairy products, milk, butter,
Dairy.
coffee creamer even is something we've been trying to get into, and we don't have room for a cow. We'd love to have a cow. Instead, we're gonna try dairy goats. We've jumped around between dairy goats and dairy sheep and trying to figure out which ones we want and why. And we just found some cheap goats, relatively cheap, herd of goats that we're going to try out. Going to see how it works. One, we can use them for meat. They're great red meat, basically a lean beef. Or we can use them for milk. And milking is going to be a new experience for me. We'll be able to talk about that. But I need to get this ready. I don't have a fence. I don't have a fence ready. I don't have their paddock ready. But that is today, to get this prepped and ready and livable so that they can live and we can expand and grow things all the meanwhile. But I'm trying to learn everything. I got to pick up hay and straw and make their fence or some type of fence to keep them in, because as people have told me, and as I know, goats are jerks and goats will get out. They will get out. So you just got to be ready for that. So I'm going to keep working on this. Looks pretty good though, doesn't it?
I see orange light. I want you to know that I love you so. And I feel like gold. And I love you so.